Hey you guys, it's Bree. It is time for our December garden tour. Now I am in North Texas and we did just get hit with that storm and we got down to I think 8 degrees Fahrenheit. So definitely pretty cold here, not what we're normally used to. So I did come out and cover the few things that I did have. I didn't cover any of my flowers. The only things that I covered was my broccoli, my cabbage, my choy, and my lettuce and my carrots. I think there's some Swiss chard over there as well. But I didn't cover anything else. I basically just let it all go. And so we're coming out today and we're gonna take the covers off and see how everything did. Now I looked and we don't have any more freezing temperatures or below freezing temperatures in the next 10-day forecast. I think the lowest it gets down to is 38 degrees. So I do wanna go ahead and take these covers off and let them get some sunlight. And yeah, let's just see how everything did. This bed right here is where the broccoli, the choy, and the cabbage is. So let me move my pots here and let's take a look. I'm gonna get it all uncovered first and then we'll look together. Okay, well, the leaves look a little saggy, but overall the broccoli looks pretty good. And I would say the same thing with my cabbage also. A little bit of damage there, but that could have been before from bugs. Now, the choy is the one that looks the worst. Some of these leaves are pretty soggy, but there is still some good new growth right there in the middle. So overall, I think these three should be okay. Now, over here, the blueberry bush still looks just fine. Now from the frost, I did lose the fig trees. There's this one right here, and then this big one right here. And then there's another blueberry plant. And then there's another blueberry plant as well. So no leaves on that one, just a couple leaves on that one. But that one still looks pretty good. Now over here in this bed is where I had my lettuce and stuff. So let's see, let me move these pots and let's see how the lettuce is doing. Let me pull this back. Okay, so the lettuce actually looks pretty good. Now, I mean, you can see there are some leaves that don't look good, but overall, I think they look okay. We got a bunch coming in over there. Now, the carrots, the tops on these do look pretty sad, but you can see we got new ones coming in as well. So I think these will be okay, but we'll just have to wait a little bit longer to see. Now, right there, that is the beets. Those don't look very good. So the beets might not make it. Let's see over here. There was a few Swiss chards and stuff. Well, like there's one right there. But those aren't looking too good. I don't think any of those made it. So you can see, let's see, right there, that was one, but it died. So we'll see. I don't know if any of that will come back, or I might have to reseed those. But I'm just happy to see that my lettuce is all really doing good. I'm happy with that. So the other beds, this is where all the peppers were. I already cut all those. I didn't pull them out by the roots. I just chopped the tops off and left that in there. And then the other bed over here was where I had the basil and the beans and all that. So obviously I went ahead and cut those out as well. Again, I didn't take the roots out. I just cut the tops off. The rhubarb here, I think it's done. I think it would have came back by now. So we'll see. I'm not going to pull it out, so we'll see what happens. But other than that, I had the grapefruit tree right there. I brought that inside, and everything over there was already dead. So on the outside, my passion vine definitely looks really, really sad. These leaves are just really mushy and not looking very good. So I think that's going to be done until the spring. Just climb under here. The salvia definitely didn't make it. The Pavonia rock rose didn't make it. And I had cleaned out all these beds over here. So that's where the head over heels hibiscus was. This is my ornamental onion. So it looks pretty sad right now. And then the echinacea and the butterfly bush. That's the butterfly bush. That's the echinacea back there. So I chopped all that down. And these ones need to be cut down. On the other side, you can see this salvia did not make it in the frost. So that needs to be cut down now. I did already cut the mums. Now these right here are all little alliums that I had planted, I think last spring, and they didn't do anything. And then when I cut the mums down, I saw all these little things growing everywhere. And they don't look like they died in the frost, so I'm excited about those. I did go ahead and cut my hibiscus. The aster, I don't know, that thing just never really came back and did much. So I'm just going to leave it. The guara, definitely damaged from the frost. This is the Rose of Sharon. And then I did go ahead and cut this hibiscus as well. So it is definitely sad seeing all my plants that died. But I really don't think, even if I had covered like the salvia and stuff like that, I don't think they would have made it. So I just wanted to cover up the lettuce and the broccoli and the cabbage and those things. And, you know, I'm thankful that I didn't have more planted because I think other vegetables wouldn't have made it very well. But I'm happy to see those all survived and hopefully will bounce back and make a good recovery. Now, the other things on the other side of the garden, there were a few things that did die over here as well. So I did cut my trumpet flower, and you can see that was the stalks on those things. Look how huge that one was. Very, very big. So I cut that down. The pansies aren't looking very good. I probably should have watered these really, really good before the frost, but I didn't. And then the irises, some of those are looking a little sad as well. Like right down here, you can see these ones don't look too well, but we do have new growth right there that's looking just fine. The frost did kill the little bit of the flax lily that was still there, and it did wipe out the salvia. The beautyberry has just looked like that basically since fall. And then this was all just pansies and violas that are still looking okay. It did completely wipe out the lavender. So I will probably cut that, and then hopefully in the spring that will return. Now, one thing I'm happy about, the pincushion flowers, they all still look really, really good. Now, I mean, there is some leaf damage right here, but overall, I mean, I think those look great considering we got down to 8 degrees and they weren't covered. And then my freesia or whatever, it did take some damage, but hopefully it'll be okay. And then everything over here just took a little bit of damage. Oh, the snapdragon definitely looks really, really bad. And then my rose bushes, now like you can tell, like this right here is obviously not supposed to be saggy like that. So it looks like the tops did take a good amount of damage. But other than that, I mean, it looks okay. Like, especially this stalk right here. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Just all the fresh new growth definitely doesn't look very good. And there's my canna lily. That thing looks really, really sad. And then these irises over here did okay as well. So now, you know, I'm just gonna kind of give the garden a rest. I am gonna still water the like the flower beds that had the pansies in them. I'm gonna give them a little bit of water and try to keep those alive until spring, hopefully. We'll see. Now, over here in the kids' beds, I'd already cleaned out everything. Now, I do have the eucalyptus. I didn't cover this at all. You can kind of see the tips of the leaves are kind of brown. But, I mean, overall, I think the plant's still alive. I don't know. So I'm not sure what to do with that. I probably should have covered it, but I didn't. But like I said, it still looks alive. Not 100%, but it didn't die completely. And then I had pulled out everything else out of my youngest daughter's bed. And then over here is my son's bed. I pulled all of it out except for this flower that definitely didn't make it. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty. And then in my daughter's bed, this is some that I cleaned out already. She had, what is this one? This one was marjoram. It doesn't look too good. And then her snapdragon doesn't look too good. But I went ahead and cleared out all 3 of these beds. So these will be ready to go for the spring. I still haven't cleaned up that trellis, and it fell over in the storm. So it looks pretty bad. And then these beds over here were basically empty except for the irises in the middle. So those are still doing okay. And I did pull out, or I cut the dahlia that was over there on the side. Not a whole lot going on in the garden right now. I would love one day to have a greenhouse or a high tunnel and maybe be able to grow some more things in there. But for now, we just gotta work with what we have. So some things are still alive, a lot of things aren't. I do have, let's see, I have my grapefruit tree, my fig tree. I do have the 2 Texas sages that were on my septic tank covers. Those are all in the shop. And I did have some potted irises. All the other irises I just left because they're all in the ground or in the raised beds. But I did have 2 big sections that were in pots. So I went ahead and pulled all that into the shop. I do not feel like pulling those out right now. I'll probably have my husband help me with that later. But yeah, we all survived. We didn't have any broken pipes or anything like that, any water issues. We didn't lose power at all, which was great. So definitely did okay during the storm this year. Now, in the previous years, our storms haven't come till like February. So having the storm here right before Christmas was a little nerve-wracking, but everything was good. So we'll see if we have any storms in February like we normally do. But right now it's chilly out here, but it's not freezing or anything like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but the sun's out. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back inside with the kiddos. The kiddos are on their Christmas break, so baby girl and I are gonna go inside and spend some time with them. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you all in the next video.